Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Vallen, and this is SevTech. Little side effect I just found out with the little trumpet doots is that the livestock tends to find it a bit offensive. But too bad for them, right? So yeah, I'm back from the Betweenlands. I haven't done any overland exploring in the Betweenlands. I did do. Oh, I've got this here. Let's grab that. I did. Do a bit of organizing of my backpacks because I had so much loot. So it's looking a little bit more organized. Not much, but a little bit. And for now, I'm going to actually try and fix things because you notice I have no armor, right? That's because some of it broke. My helmet broke. I don't have much left on the trousers and the chest plate that I had. So I'm going to need to replace that. And I was kind of thinking that there was some ways that I might go about doing that. But first, as usual, I've got some stuff in my inventory. You notice here I've got item scrolls, right? Well, item scrolls are used in the Betweenlands animator, which is a bunch of weedwood planks, some sticks, a white's heart, and a bunch of betweenstone. Not to worry, my friends. I got 7 white's hearts while I was out and about. So I should be all right for that. In fact, let me grab one right now. And we can get some of the other materials. Now, I did chop down just some of the regular wood nearby in the Betweenlands, so I got a little bit of weedwood logs, and by breaking some of the bushes, you get weedwood sticks. Now, alternately, you can actually use weedwood planks as you would on a chopping block or something like that, and just turn them into sticks. So that's not a problem either. But I'm going to try it out on my mill over here that I have, my sawmill, because... why not? I mean, that's what the thing's for, right? And I get the most yield back from it. So I figured I would give it a try, see what we get. I got a whole bunch. Awesome. And I also took a bunch of like stuff here so I could get a bunch of coal because I noticed that like my fuel that I have wasn't actually looking that impressive. And I started putting it in my leathers chest because I've just got so much stuff here. Let's put all this here. There we go. And I was like, I've got so much fuel that in my valuables chest, I don't have any space left, especially with these life crystals taking up 1 slot each. So I kind of need space for an animator and a purifier. Purifier and an animator, as well as the furnace, might also clean off the octine ore and the sermerite ore that I might need for some of the different achieves as I get them. For now, I'm going to leave them as is. I'm more towards the animator, so I can get these little question mark item scrolls here to turn into special items. They're basically like loot drops, and it's a mystery bag of some sort. So I just need a little bit of betweenstone, which I do have plenty of that from my mining excursions, and I should be able to craft this up. Let's try this. There we go, an animator. Excellent. Now, it does have certain requirements. Right now, I set it down. It looks really cool. I will definitely say that. It does look cool. But it does require some stuff. And one being a special drop, being not the white's heart. I need a life crystal. Life crystals are what power it, as well as the fuel source of sulfur. And a lot of sulfur it uses. Let me tell you this. So you put the life crystal here, which is 1 power source, and then you put sulfur on the other, which will get chewed up. It's going to be like maybe, I don't know, anywhere from 10 to 30 sulfur per use. And then you put in an item scroll. You get this really cool effect, and these like little particles start going towards the scroll. It's really, really cool. And then you can see the progress being made on both of these, and a little bit of the life crystal life is used up. Now, these are like batteries. So don't worry, you can recharge them by just putting them in a crafting table with white's hearts. So that's not, at least that's the traditional method. Let's just double check to make sure. Yes. So if it has none or any left in there, you can recharge it and it'll keep increasing it by, I don't know, like 13% each white heart, something around there. And there we go. I got a sludge slicer. So this, while unimpressive in itself, it sounds cool, right? Let's put the next one in. Sludge slicer is kind of like a special weapon for the Betweenlands when you fight sludges. Actually, I should put that in my my combat bag here. And if you hit a sludge with it, it should, in most cases, one-shot those sludges. And they're like little slimes, like in the overworld, but they have skulls inside of them. They're really cool. They don't actually split into smaller versions of themselves or anything, thankfully, or else it'd cause even more lag in an already difficult to run dimension. But it's a useful tool, and there are multiple tools like that you could potentially get. Oh, a ring of power. This is a very temporary item that can give you a boost to everything. It's really nice, and you have a hotkey for it. I'm not going to mess with my keys right now to see about that, but it would be good to have. All you have to do is just right-click it, but I don't, and then you'd have to use that key binding to remove it. So I don't want to do that, and it has a limited lifespan, and then you can recharge it using your XP levels. So I don't want to do that right now. I want to save that for special occasions, like if I'm fighting a boss or something like that. So that would be useful, because it's probably going to last maybe a couple minutes, I think. Maybe 5 at the most, is what I'm thinking. But they are nice to have, and you can have multiples of them running at the same time. So they'll give you just, it says a bonus to all stats. I specifically noticed, oh, that was a big disappointment. 2 sludge slicers. I notice it specifically when fighting mobs that I do a lot more damage if one of those are active. So, I am naked. Well, more or less. I mean, I have boots, but they're not useful boots. In this chest, though, I do have a lot of Vallen-ite, and I figure that Vallen-ite is going to be my armor of choice, at least at this point. Yes, there are some better armors, but I'm going with Vallen-ite because it is, well, similar to my name here, and it is going to give me some pretty decent protection. As you can see, it's the 3 and 2, 8 and 2, and 6 and 2. Nothing wrong with that. Plus, I'm pink and green, so at least I'm matching. No, I don't match at all, but oh well. Oh, I got angry pebbles. Oh, that's a bit disappointing. I'm going to leave this life crystal in here for now, because I figured that's pretty much where it's going to end up, and I'll use it as I need to. I need to get rid of some of this other junk that I have in here, though. I have so much stuff. So much stuff. I need to upgrade everything. Hey, look, I don't even have space for these acacia wood slabs. In fact, I'm just going to feed Traposto over here some of these. There we go. Thank you, Traposto. Darkosto, Traposto. And we can continue on with some of this. I could use this for like different weapons and stuff. I'm thinking I'm going to save them for the time being, because Valonite is useful for a lot of things. Specifically, if you're going to be going into any of the potion brewing or anything like that of the Betweenlands, you will want yourself one of those sickles. Where is it here? You can also make a jukebox, but where is it? There it is. A little sickle, good as new, and it requires some reed rope and stuff. But you want to harvest just about everything with the sickle in order for that to really work out for you. It's a very important tool. If you want to check out more, I've done a very long streaming playthrough of the Betweenlands on Mischief in the Betweenlands mod pack that I set up. I will be revisiting the Betweenlands here and there. For now, I think the only thing I am lacking is going to be some of those middle gems. So I am going to get myself set up for that, in fact, and I will be back in a moment. All right, there we are, fresh and new as the day is new, I guess. And I'm going to head up. We're going to head back through. We're going to try and find ourselves some of those blue middle gems, because those are specifically what I'm needing. Bounce. Bounce. For this next part. And I should be able to get in here and then just press shift. And there we go. And I don't even need to press shift. It just takes a second. And here we are in the Betweenlands, as before. So there are multiple uses that we might be able to make good here. And that is going to be balls of sap. You also probably saw that I had, was it in this backpack? I think it is. I had some of these weeping blue petals. These give you kind of a regen effect on your corrosion meter. So that can be really, really useful if you need, if you've got a whole bunch or you're going into an area where you need to worry about that. Also, I'm going to need some kind of storage at some point for some of this liquid down here, this wonderful liquid. It is swamp water, which will be, we will be needing that in the future. Hello, my friend, how are you? So what I am going to need is some scabbist ore, which actually I forgot. I left the scabbist back at my base. I'll be right back. And I'm back. I don't actually need scabbist ore. I do have one item that will be affected by corrosion. That's going to be the sludge slicer. Over time, that will actually take damage. So I figure for now, I will just pop it in one of my bags so that it won't take corrosion damage and start getting weaker. But I need to find my way around, and for that, I'm going to grab my trusty book here. Hello, little gecko. And we're going to try and find ourselves, I don't know, perhaps a marshy biome. I realize I'm in a marshy biome, but it's actually just like speckled with water and mud and stuff like that. And those will have a lot of of the middle gems in it, plus a lot of the sludges, which I have the sludge slicer for. But I'm going to be exploring, looking on the ground specifically for things that will light up in the little river passageways, looking for middle gems. And hopefully I will find some, and I'll be back if anything interesting should arise. Oh, it looks like... Okay, I found some off to the side. I was just jumping over the boat, because these little middle gems you'll find underneath the water. That's pretty much where they all are, as far as I'm aware at least. And you can find them in rivers, passageways, and very heavily in like marshlands. I didn't mean to actually break my boat. I want to put that back down and jump back in. So this actually is all I need is one. But I would like to get a few more of these gems, just so I can enhance my armor even more. Oh, hey, there's another one. And another one. Alright, so this is the marshlands area that I was talking about. So we've got a very heavy and difficult area to actually get through because of the amount of water in the area. Yeah, kind of breaking things up. Plus there's going to be mud spots all over, and you may find some kind of noxious cloud that just is trying to kill you the entire time. So down in between here, though, you have a very good chance of finding some decent, middle gem population. This isn't the ideal one, but it's much easier to see here than elsewhere. Unless you're in, of course, the sludgy area, which is what I was hoping for, but should still work. Oh, there's another one over there. Look, I see a green gem ahead of me here. So I just keep on finding more gems. This is actually really good. Now, it makes it also challenging because you might find some of these little flying Chiramaws here and about, but they're nothing in comparison to the noxious clouds that one might find out here. So should you come across any of these structures here where you've got like some of these ruins and stuff, you'll want to be sure to look up, because at the top you should find some neat items that you can break for potential bonus loot. Let's try breaking this. But you have to be careful because it might also have termites in it, which is never a good thing. So you see this light over here, that is a wisp. If you want to harvest those, you need an aurora in the sky at the time of harvesting. Otherwise, when you approach them, they'll just kind of go out and you can't pick them up. Then you can replace them and use them yourself, and they'll act in the same way. If there's an aurora out, it will act as a lantern in that area. If there is no aurora, then, well, they'll be invisible and you can't harvest them. You can then place a block to eliminate them, if I'm not mistaken. But that's about it. Aha! Something to see here. I don't know if you can notice, but there's like a dim light in the water. That is the easiest way to find these gems, typically, short of sticking your head under the water everywhere you go, but at least that's one way you can find it. And it's really good at nighttime, which actually, there is no specific day-night cycle in the Betweenlands, but there's like murky and less murky. So if it's during one of those times where it's murky, which it's actually getting to now, then you should be able to find those a little bit easier, because there will be, well, a light emanating from below the water. Plus, you notice I'm walking on peat. Oh my gosh, this is not good. This is bad. This is very bad. We've got a peat mummy. These guys are scary as all get out. And don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, he's doing it. Okay, this is bad. Go away. Oh my gosh, these things are scary. So they have a lot of health. Thankfully, I've got my defensive setup going on. So yeah, if you're in a large peat area, beware of peat mummies. But it's also a burnable material, meaning ever burning. So it's like netherrack. You can light a fire, on it, and it will basically act like netherrack in the Betweenlands. So that's a thing, but oh gosh, those mummies, oh, they always give me the willies. Ow, ow, and I forgot, there are nettles all over the place. You're going to want to watch out for those. They're going to give you pricklies and hurt you. Okay, this is actually another situation that I was not wanting to run into, and that is the dryads that are in the area. They don't like it if you get close to one of the trees that they protect, and they can do a serious amount of damage to you, as you may have noticed in the past. I don't know if you guys saw me fight one of these guys before. They're not the friendliest of characters, and you want to take them out as quick as possible. Ow, ow, ow. And if you can, stay in water. Because as far as they like to protect the forest, they're not above burning it down to prevent you from actually getting anything out of it too. And it looks like I've found a massive, massive tree here. It's very dark. Let's see if I can light this up a little bit at least. Wow. And that dryad was likely actually defending this massive tree as well, which of course is going to have the fruit up in there, the white pear fruit. Oh. As well as this, which is excellent. I've got to mark this area as well. I keep finding more of these in the area. We're going to put a marker right here for this and put crystals. There we go. And then I can always break this and get myself some of these. There we go. That's what I was hoping to get. I thought I saw a second one. Yeah, there's more over here. All right, good. I wanted to at least leave one in the spot. There we go. And we'll just light this up around it. Cool. And I now have a little bit of stardust. I'm going to need that for the future as well. Oh boy, it's one of those shallow breaths. So these things are terrible. You just want to swipe them a few times. Stand your ground or run away. If you're standing your ground, make sure that you're swiping. I was not expecting that to actually hit me. Kind of hurt a little bit there. Not too bad though. And don't forget, lurkers are actually pretty innocent little guys here. They're not going to do anything to you unless you do something to them first. So you don't have to kill them if you don't want to, but you can get some really good stuff from their armor. Aha, red gem. That's what I was hoping for. These will increase the damage. Blue gems will increase your resistance. And green gems will give you a healing effect. In this case, I'm hoping to find a few more. Wait, was that one? Nope, but I am finding some of these wisps, and I'm going to try and collect some of these because there's currently an aurora up in the sky. So they're just really cool decorative features. I don't know how they're going to work in the overworld. I figure we'll give it a try. Alright, so it's starting to get really rainy and thundery and stormy here, so I'm thinking that's gonna do it for this trip into the Betweenlands. Now let's head back to base and unload some of our loot. Alright, so I'm back. I popped the item in here. I actually had to replace the sulfur because we ran out from the last time. And guess what I got? Another sludge slicer. Isn't that exciting? I'm going to be very well prepared if we ever get into a biome in the Betweenlands where there are sludges. But until then, I've got other things that I can work on. And that is pretty much, I've got these gems and I need to clean them up. Plus, in one of those pots that I found out there, I got an amulet socket. These are fantastic. You can have one of those on here and it will give you the benefits of one of these as if you had it applied to your armor. Which means that you, instead of just having 4 gems, you could have a potential 5, or even more if you have other items that may allow you to go even further than that. But for now, let's put that in there as well. I still have a few items. Let's keep the blue petals in my chest just because that's going to be useful. And I think I can put away the sap for now as well. So, what do we do with these middle gems? With this, we need a purifier, which takes special ingredients. It takes sulfur and swamp water, which is not found in the overworld. It's found in the Betweenlands, which is a reason why I'm going to need something like this. So if I have my bucket here, that's not what I wanted. I want this bucket here. If I take this, I should be able to empty this out this way and just kind of clear this out and use this barrel. for swamp water, which I think is what I want, really. I still got a couple more left in there. Let's do this one more. Is that it? Oh, no. Oh, no. It's got some tiny amount or something like that in there. Oh, that's terrible. All right, well, I might make myself a new one then and use that instead. All right, so I've got myself some planks and slabs so I can make myself some of these potential items. I'm going to make a couple of these barrels, I figure is a good plan. I think that the swamp water in the Betweenlands actually is fine. Like it exists, replenishing forever and ever. Amen. So let's see, we do this. Aha! Oak barrel lids, which, oh, I need one more. Of course I need one more, but this means I can carry 2 of these. Each one can have 8 on it, and I can use my bucket to get the swamp water. So let me get back up to the tree and we'll see if this will work out. All right, and we are here, back in the Betweenlands, and I believe, yeah, the rain stopped while I was gone. That's kind of convenient. Let's put down this and this, grab my bucket, and yes, it does refill, and it's swamp water here. And that sure looks like swamp water to me, so therefore I can just fill these up, take these back. So, I will see you guys back in the overworld in a moment. But beforehand, this oak barrel lid. Pretty cool, right? And then I can just shift right click and take the lid off if I want it. Or I could actually lid it, and I could just kind of, break it and take it with me. There we go. I could just shift right click on the side instead of the top, and I get the whole barrel, and it says contains swamp water. Really cool. Really cool. Thank you in the comments for the people who recommended that I try that out. This is going to be very useful in this case. There we go. That should do. And I could always take the lids off of these if I want, or I could put the lid on this one. Actually, I might do that just to trade these out as I need to. And I also have a bucket over here that I could potentially use for this if I don't have my iron one handy, which then I can pour into a purifier. But I do need a purifier. So let's see what we need to make a purifier. I did not research this one. I should have octane ingots and some weedwood planks, which actually that's not a bad thing. I've got some octane ingots, and I should have some weedwood planks already. Well, I've got 3. I'm going to need 5, so let me take one of these weedwood logs. We'll toss this on the our saw here, which should be fairly easy to do. I've got this thing set up. Oh, it's just so easy to do now. There we go. I got my planks and some sawdust, as you get with every transaction. Make one of these, purifier, get. Now, I'm going to put it here for now. And then, as said before, it does require a bit of swamp water. So let's just kind of grab this, and I will fill this up and be right back. There we go. Now it's all full with swamp water, which is one of the requirements for it. I do need a bit of other fuel, namely some of the sulfur. So let's put this in here to smelt the items that we need cleaned. And we're going to start with the aqua middle gem, because that is going to be the requirement that we need for this. In fact, it's got cool particle effects, of course, with the bubbles and stuff coming out. And it should just come out as a regular gem. Now this amulet socket, we're going to need to use this with some reed rope, which I think I put my reed stuff in here. Yeah, there we go. I think I've got just enough for this to do. That is reed rope. Perfect. All right, and then I can put the remainder away, and I can use it to make myself that necklace. There we go, which is excellent. An amulet. Perfect. So with this, I can add it to a gem of choice. In this case, let's grab the aqua middle gem. I'm going to need that to make that smeltery bit. But for now, I'm also going to toss in some others. I want crimson gems right now because they're just going to increase my damage possibilities, and I'm a big fan of that. Then I'll work on the other ones as well. I think I'm going to have a crimson middle gem for my amulet. I always like having that, and one on any sword that I have. I don't know if it'll accept with Tinker's swords. That's a good question here. Will it? No, it doesn't work with those ones. Fair enough. Will it work with a sentient sword? Oh, it does work with a sentient sword. Oh, wonderful. So if you look on here, it actually tells you on a tool, chance to weaken the enemy when attacking. So therefore you'd be granting weakness when on armor, chance to gain defense when attacked. So you have two possible outcomes depending upon how you use them. In this case, I'm going to be using probably a mix of blue and green on my armor and a mix of red on my amulet and weapon of choice if possible. So it's just a matter of waiting for this to kind of take everything out here, which actually that's probably all I need for those ones. I don't really want to stop this because I only have a limited amount of sulfur at this point. I really don't want to go back into the Betweenlands just for that. So I can take this though, put that on there, amulet. There we go, fashionable warrior. Then I can just take my shield off, right click, and you now see it's down here on my inventory, and I have a possible effect when I swing a weapon attack. You might hear a bing and a little like splash of color shows up on the screen. You might even like launch the enemy a really good like knockback distance, and you'll get like a strength bonus on the side. As it activates more and more frequently, you could get up to strength 3, I believe, as a potential effect. And I don't know if I really want to enhance this sword or not. You know, I might as well. I've got a bunch of those crimson gems. Let's just do it now. And there we go. I now have a crimson gem enhancement on that sword, which hopefully will start working anytime that I need to use it on any kind of bad guys. So, while the last of my aqua middle gems are, well, purified in here, I am also cooking up some of the, what do you call it, the octine and the sermerite ingots, just so that I can stack those a little bit easier in my chests. I also, if you notice here, I have a bunch of flint blocks. This was actually just a stack of, well, gravel tossed in here. Tossed into the clay kilns, and I tossed them in there, and you can actually, if you want to use them for making arrows, of course, because the flint arrows are still really good, you can use them on a stone anvil to get 4 at a time, or you can toss them in a millstone to get 2. Personally, I'm going to go for the mass production here and just kind of toss them in, grab myself a hammer, and go to town. And once I get myself a bunch of these, I should be good to go. For now, though, I think I'm just going to leave that there. You get the idea. On that one, I'm going to make myself a whole bunch more arrows, because the Tinker arrows that I currently have access to are still not that good. I might be able to get like some looting on them or something like that, but they're just not that as damaging as the regular flint arrows right now. But I do have my armor removed, and that is basically so I can therefore enhance it. We're going to put the a little bit of blue on the top, I think. And then we're going to put some blue on the helmet. And the reason that I'm saving green for the trousers is because you don't actually get to see the belt buckle on this one. So therefore it still keeps the same blue effect on me. See, there's no belt buckle. But you can actually apply this to your boots as well. So now I have these gems, which if you look on the blue gem, chance to weaken the enemy when attacking, chance to gain defense when attacked, so you get resistance. If I look at the others, we've got green, a chance to heal when attacking. So if you do damage, you might actually regain health. Chance to absorb damage when attacked. So as you're being attacked, it would prevent the damage from happening. You absorb the damage as health instead, which is pretty good. And then, of course, the red gems, chance to gain strength when attacking and chance to hurt the enemy when attacked. So you have more of another thorns effect, which is very tempting to put thorns on this just to see if it'll stack with my current cactus setup as well. But I don't know if that's going to be the case 100% of the time or not, or if it's a separate stack. Either way, I'm not really too concerned with it because my current cacti combo is really powerful. But here, the smeltery controller. Brain of the smeltery. This was the whole point of everything that we did here. And I think, do I need to place this down? Is that what needs to happen as part of a smeltery in order? Controlling and they be stealing my bucket. Wait, what? Why do I have 2 of these in here? And I did have to log back out and back in again because for some reason I was not able to open chests. It was kind of weird how that was working, but we got... If flint or bone tools aren't cutting it any longer, you'll need a smeltery. After you place all your smeltery blocks, place the smeltery controller to complete the structure and the advancement, which we did. They be stealing my bucket is now that you have acquired iron, use your smeltery to cast an iron bucket. Oh, which I already did just on one of these my mini smelter. Oh, that's good. But I now have a pretty good sized smeltery. I mean, it's not huge. Like I said, it's very tall and skinny. But I'm fine with that because I can always add in more faucets on the side if I want to and stuff. But it's got more than I need at the moment. And I think that this will suffice. And yeah, I know that I've got these down here and casts can work in the is it the part chest? Where? Oh, it's underneath this thing. I think it's the pattern chest. I know that I could have a pattern chest with those as well, but I was just putting it here so that I would still be able to use some of the slots. If I do get more casts that I need than what this fits, then I will definitely replace it with a pattern chest and have it like nearby or something. But I do need to put, what is it? The cast down over here. Where's my pick? Oh, that's right. The AOT. I keep putting it away because I keep on going into the Between Lands where it's fairly useless. Not completely, but just fairly useless. There we go. And I've got some hoppers underneath so that as I smelt things up, it goes in there. But now I have access to that. I feel I should probably grab all this glass that I have up here and just fill it all with lava so that I will have a lot of fuel instead of what do I got? Less than 3 buckets in here, and that wasn't that much that I smelted. That would get me a lot. Maybe that's what I do. Maybe that's what I do. But as you can see, I have a little red gem buddy floating around me here that looks really cool from the amulet that we got in the Between Lands. There's tons more goodies to be had in the Between Lands, and there are bosses and other things that you can fight and so on. I will be doing that over time, but for now I feel I'm going to take a little bit of a break from it, and we'll do a little bit of progress around here. I'm getting an idea of what we can do with our base setup here, and I might slowly start converting this over time. So you guys might start seeing a tiny bit of progression in one area, and you're like, what the heck, why do you have a giant hole here, or this weird ceiling look over there, or something. I think that will happen. But for now, I think I'm going to go get some lava and fill up these seared gauges, because I've got those lava pools up above behind the base. Just fill up as many of those seared gauges as I can, and start converting these chests into iron as well, because that's a thing. I believe chest upgrades. Yes, there are. There's iron to copper to silver, silver to gold. Oh. Wait, we don't have silver yet, so copper to iron. There we go. That's what we need. And that one's going to be just a bunch of iron plates around copper plates. Should increase my storage capacity a bit on all of these, making things a little bit easier on me because, yeah, as you notice, things are getting a little bit tight in some of these chests. In fact, I've got all this, my cobble is in here. Plus, I've got just like these different drops that I've been combining to make complete sets of armor for God knows why. Maybe just for a display set. I don't know. But I think that's about it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this little, foray into and out of the Between Lands. I look forward to continuing on with more progress, and we'll pick out a few more progression items in SevTech instead of just me like kind of running around and randomly getting a few achieves. So, if you guys enjoyed, be sure to give a like, a comment, a subscribe, and as always, be sure to spread the mischief to others. I think they'll enjoy this kind of content too. And until next time, folks, I'll see ya.